Another musical? Was 2024 a musical year? But I really like Zoe Saldana. I see a movie with her and I click. This film touches on transgender themes, so if it gets nominated for an Oscar, it will make at least 2 this year on that topic. Unlike Conclave, this movie makes it clear from the beginning what it's about, so watching it was my conscious choice, but I regretted it very soon. The film starts with Rita, played by Zoe Saldana, in court. She's defending the honor of a victim, trying to prove the woman was murdered by her husband rather than taking her own life. Rita has a strong sense of justice and her job clearly means a lot to her. But don't let that fool you. Logic leaves this film just minutes after it begins. She gets kidnapped by Manitas, a drug lord, and is brought to him with a bag over her head. To her surprise, Manitas wants only one thing, for Rita to help him become a woman. Like, seriously, a random lawyer he doesn't know and for some reason he trusts her more than anyone else. She ends up in Thailand visiting a clinic that performs these surgeries. And then comes the first cringe-worthy, inappropriate song about vaginoplasty. It's one of the stupidest moments in the film. Why are the clients and doctors so happy about it? They act like the surgery will turn them into Superman. Rita suddenly seems overly invested in this. She picks out all possible surgeries for Manitas as if they are harmless procedures. Honestly, this scene could work as a plastic surgery clinic promo. 1 minute she's a lawyer fighting for justice, and the next she's excitedly guiding someone through a gender reassignment process. Like, girl, this isn't even your fight. You are paid for it. Apparently, Rita has zero survival instincts. Despite being threatened by a mafia boss for slow progress, she jets off to Tel Aviv to meet a doctor. This doctor agrees to discuss gender-changing surgeries, but only so he can sing her a whole song about why he opposes them. Couldn't she have chosen someone who performs tons of these surgeries without arguing? Wasn't this the biggest waste of time, especially given that her life was threatened? And what does she do? She sings back at him with the most pro-transgender speech ever. Hold on, when did this happen? Weren't you just a lawyer defending a murder victim's honor? Now you are patiently arguing with a doctor over gender surgeries, saying if you saw my mafia client, you'll be a better man. A better man? Like he's the bad guy for having a different opinion. Meanwhile, Manitas wants to leave his kids behind before the transition. Honestly, this feels like more of a dad thing to do than a mom thing. But Rita, a biological woman, totally approves of his decision. And there is a wife too. Manitas has a wife, played by Selena Gomez, and he's been taking hormones for 2 years. And nobody noticed a thing? Seriously? The guy has boobs and even his wife didn't figure it out. And Selena's performance is horrible. She spends most of her screen time fake crying. One redeeming factor is Carla Sofia Gascon, who plays Manitas, the character who becomes Emilia Perez. As a transgender actress, her emotions feel genuine, drawing from her own experience. Honestly, I'd rather watch an interview with her about her real-life story. No need for the random songs or this convoluted plot. I'm not sure she'd fare in roles less connected to her personal journey, but she does a great job in this one. This film eventually shifts focus to Emilia's wife, but instead of exploring her character, we get a bizarre, angry dance scene. Yeah, that's it. Back to Emilia. After transitioning, Emilia becomes the opposite of her former self. Instead of being a violent drug lord, she decides help people, and she starts by helping a woman find the body of her son, who was kidnapped and killed by the Mexican mafia. So, changing genders also change morals? But you didn't have to be violent as a man, that was your choice. From that moment, the movie picks up, even though it completely changes direction. Emilia and Rita find mass graves filled with bodies of missing people. The musical genre finally proves its worth as hundreds of people sing about their missing loved ones. Every year in Mexico, thousands of people disappear due to criminal activities, and their families are forced to live with that unbearable reality. Imagine not knowing whether your loved ones are dead or alive, unable to bury their bodies, and powerless to do anything about it. Honestly, I'd have preferred to see this theme developed throughout the rest of the movie. But the film quickly throws it away. Rita performs a vulgar dance at a gala for the relatives of missing people. Why? How is this appropriate for such a sensitive issue? The story continues to spiral. Emilia falls in love with a woman. I was really confused about it, so I googled that gender identity and sexual orientation don't always align, but I still don't understand why, and the movie doesn't bother to explain it. So let's not go further into that and move on. We go back to Emilia's ex-wife. I understand they wanted to tell 3 female stories in one movie, but in the end almost none of them is told. The characters don't get any development, and there is either no backstory or the backstory doesn't connect to the actual story, like with Rita's case. Turns out her ex-wife also had a lover during their marriage, and we are forced to watch them sing karaoke for 5 minutes. On a TV screen. The camera literally films this scene from a TV screen. What kind of cinematography is this? Let's buy $100,000 camera and lower the picture's quality by recording the screen. I forced myself to finish watching this film. It was getting worse and worse and ended tragically, but all because of a random series of events. There is no structured story you can watch from any moment and it will still make no sense. I don't even know why Zoe Saldana's character was needed for this story, especially her career struggle in the beginning. What is her own story? I completely disagree with people saying it's a feminist movie. It's about a man's selfishness hurting and disregarding a woman. Emilia is a very selfish character. She wants to become a woman and easily abandons her kids. 4 years later, she wants the kids back and is willing to take them from their own mother, who has been taking care of them all this time. She is number one in her own life. And by the way, you can see that Emilia is a transgender woman. There is no way everyone was clueless. I'd rate this movie 3 out of 10. 1 point for Zoe Saldana, 1 for Carla Sofia Gascon's performance, and 1 for addressing the issue of kidnappings. Don't forget to like this review and subscribe for more.